You and I are on a mission. We've traveled back in time to meet a very important person. Let's call him Mr. Adams. He asks us, what do 21st century Americans enjoy eating for breakfast? We look at each other and we say, Egg McMuffins. In 21st century America, you can find an Egg McMuffin on every corner. And unlike some of the other recipes we've done, each and every Egg McMuffin is exactly the same. So many people start their day with nothing but an Egg McMuffin and a cup of coffee. How can we make this even better for Mr. Adams? How can we make the best 18th century breakfast sandwich? Our time machine has landed us in 1796 and we've met up with Mr. Adams on the campaign trail. All we have with us are the clothes on our back. We have to make do with whatever ingredients we can find here in the late 18th century. Breakfast in 18th century America is not the same as what you probably think. It's not eggs and bacon, it's probably porridge, or maybe it's bread and beer. John Adams at this point in history has been a world traveler. He has experienced other kinds of cuisines, but he probably is ready for just a regular American breakfast. Some of this is going to be very easy. Scrambled eggs or eggs cooked, no problem. But what about the bread component and the sausage? We'll have to do some adjustment here. And the uniformity of it, that's a little strange for the 18th century. So I've made a special iron ring so I can make all the components fit in a size and shape. Let's start off with the foundation. What are we gonna do for bread? We need to make sure this has the right texture and a great flavor. As far as I'm concerned, the biggest challenges we have are the bread components on the top and the bottom of our Egg McMuffin. Now, we know them today as English muffins. Obviously, in England and America, they didn't call whatever that was an English muffin, and there isn't anything quite like it in the 18th century. But the precursor to the English muffin is likely the crumpet of the very late 18th century and early 19th century. They're almost exactly the same in their airiness and fluffiness, the thickness and size. They have these air pockets that go all throughout it, so the texture is almost exactly the same. Mrs. Fraser has a recipe called Crumpets for Tea. It goes, beat 2 eggs well, put them to a choppin' or a quart of warm milk and water and a large spoonful of barm. Mix in as much fine flour as will make them a little thicker than pudding batter. Let the oven or griddle be very hot. Rub it over with butter. Pour as much of the batter into it as the size of a saucer. Do the rest the same way. Turn them. Make them very crisp. Butter them. This recipe should give us the best alternative to an English muffin that we can get. It should give Mr. Adams a great experience. I think this will knock the socks off of a modern day sausage Egg McMuffin. The recipe called for barm. We're using the modern substitute, which is fast-acting yeast. The yeast in the 18th century was called barm, but it was in a slightly different form. This will work great. We're gonna set this aside and it'll be ready in a few minutes. Our next challenge is a sausage patty. Now, did they have sausage patties like this in the 18th century? They did, but they weren't in the shape that we need for this, so that's not too bad. The recipe is one from Martha Washington's cookbook. A simple recipe. We use chopped pork or ground pork. We're gonna add some beef suet to it that will give us a little beefy flavor and also nice air pockets so that it's juicy and tender, and spices. We're gonna use our special kitchen pepper that we've done before on the channel. Kitchen pepper is a combination of spices, and this one is going to turn out great. This sausage should have just the right spices. This is a breakfast sandwich built for a president. Cooking with this ring is a real challenge. I don't know if it's gonna get cooked all the way in the middle. And we've come all this way. I don't want to disappoint Mr. Adams. Here it is, our Egg McMuffin for Mr. Adams. Smells great. The textures look really good. It's ready to eat. Well, okay, this is a breakfast sandwich, right? We can't just have one breakfast sandwich. If we're gonna do it, let's go all the way. We're going to make a McGriddle. Let's whip up some pancakes. We're going to do a classic Johnny Cake recipe for these pancakes. First, we're gonna mix up an egg and some milk. We're gonna add into that some melted butter. And to get that sweetness, just like the McGriddle, we're gonna put the maple syrup right into this batter. Not a lot or it'll burn. Then we put in flour and cornmeal with a little bit of salt. That's our batter. Here's our Egg McMuffin, and this thing, it looks great. I don't think I'll ever be able to eat a regular McDonald's Egg McMuffin after just seeing this one. So let's give it a try. I'm gonna have to, whew. So good. Such great textures. It is a whole breakfast in one sandwich, and this is the real deal. Real cheese, perfectly cooked egg, a real egg right from our chickens, and sausage that is seasoned to perfection. The McGriddle. And as you see, we got the perfect branding on here, proper branding, and I can smell the egg and the cheese and the sausage on this, and I'm really interested to see about the sweetness in the pancake of the sausage or the sandwich here. Here we go. Perfect balance. We did it. We made the perfect breakfast sandwich. These are even better than what you can find today. I love it, you're going to love it, and Mr. Adams is gonna love it.